The quarterly membership subscription for the gold member is now open, as well as obviously the annual membership. Now here's the point. When and if Bitcoin reaches an all-time new high, both the gold annual membership and the gold quarterly membership will be removed. It will be closed to new members. And a new membership called a diamond membership will be introduced, but that diamond membership will not include the profit trade alerts, which will become a separate service. So from now until the all-time new highs, which I believe should occur within this year, if not sometime in Q1 of 2020, the quarterly gold membership is open until then. This provides all access to all crypto analysis, custom analysis requests. You can request the charting and analysis of the coins that you hold. Monthly live group Q&A with myself, where you have an opportunity to answer and ask any questions that you might have. And obviously, most importantly for many, direct access to the profit trade alerts for the long positions and the short positions, both in Bitcoin as well as in altcoins. If you find the quarterly membership of gold status to be something that you would like to evaluate, a quarterly membership would be able to exactly provide that. Thank you and have a good day. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in this world. This is Hedge and Lee with a Monday morning update for Bitcoin. So we know and have reviewed and should be familiar with the following primary count, but for the sake of a whole bunch of new members, I'll let you just review this, and reviewing, repetitious reviewing, is never a bad thing. I also take a clean slate, remove all prior markings. It's good to do that at times as a chartist. The reason is because when you get rid of all prior markings, sometimes you do get those aha moments of a pattern, sequence, count you may not have considered. I'm not saying that we'll get it right now, but it does happen on a regular basis. So if the 14K or near it was the peak, we see a whole bunch of three-wave swings. Look how this is three-wave-ish. Very three-ish and five-ish. But if you put that together as a 1, 2, 3, or rather A, B, C, it's very corrective. And also it's going sideways more than anything else. Now what about this? A, B, C. And if you have any familiarity with Elliott waves, you might say, well, Hedge, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an impulse. Isn't that like a great thing? Well, in an ABC, you can get a 5, 3, and a 5. And that's called a zigzag. But overall, at a higher degree of count, and even visually, it's very three-wave-ish. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That could be a potential 5-wave decline. But let's take this from a bigger picture perspective. So we have 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was an ending diagonal. Or, better yet, we can call this A, B, and C is in progress. So this 5 and this 3, but look how this 3 is a little bit weird. It's called an expanded flat. Okay, it goes like this. It's when the B wave goes below the origin of A. Okay, so that would be best labeled as an expanded flat, like so. So this kind of counting throws off a lot of new beginning Elliotticians. It sure did for me when I started out back in around 2000. The reason is because you have to almost see it. You have to arrange your brain to perceive it. And how do you learn to do that? Well, you just practice, that's all. So let's go back to how we're going to label the whole correction on a primary scale. So we're going to call this a W, X, and we're going to call the Y at around 7,200. Position it at that point. So we have ABC for W subwaves, ABC for X, and this is called a double combination. And for review, what is a double combination? Well, it's a way of connecting a whole bunch of ABCs. So in the case of a double 2, it's a way of connecting two ABCs. So let's say I have A, B, C going in a downward direction. So a three-way swing corrective going downwards. And then I have another one. Let's say it goes like this. And these two can be connected with an ABC that goes in the opposite direction. And that would be how the WXY is set up. Now I can label this as a W, X, and Y. And this blue is, the X is what I call the linker. It's not in the book of Elliott wave principles, but just it links. It's a chain linker for two ABC sequences going the same direction. So it's a double. So it's a W, X, Y. And notice how each W, X, and Y has an ABC. ABC, ABC, ABC. Except in this case here, we have the B dipping a bit lower below the origin of A. So this is called an expanded flat ABC. Okay. Now, for W, we need to insert the ABC. A, B, C. It's a three-wave subwave composition. Okay. And for this too, for X, we got ABC going as well. So A, B, C. And for this, okay, we are saying that we have A, B, C. And these yellow ABCs would be subordinate to those subwave composition. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, expanded flat for B, and C is in progress. Now, the C wave of any three-wave swing except in a triangle has to have 5 subwaves. So here we can say wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, targeting the 72, 7300. Maybe the 74 would be the target as well. So this C wave is showing, and this is looking very nice, impulsive down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now look how the blue 3, subdivides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful subdivision. And the wave 3, blue 3, was the extended wave, the longest wave. Okay, like so. Now, the key. So what's happening? I think 3 is complete. 4 is probably complete, but maybe not yet. Okay, and 5 should be in. I thought 5 would be in progress already, but you know, correction always takes a long time. Look how long since January to now. How many days? Almost. I mean, almost the whole, what, 3/4. Okay, of correction. So slow. It's what I call a hurry up and wait. Cryptos hurry up on their upswing, but man, are they slow on the corrections. So we shouldn't be surprised by this, on the length of time it's taking. Anyone who expects Bitcoin to correct and then do a V-neck up and make new all-time highs, no. And there's a reason for that. I believe the reason is primarily dependent on the maturity level of its liquidity, market cap size, basically. If you look at the S&P 500 index, you'll see how it crawls up ever incrementally, but when it corrects, it just falls like a stone. When liquidity is highly in mature phase, that's what happens. So soon, maybe another 10 years or what have you from now, when Bitcoin goes to, let's say, even 2-3x in market cap of that of the S&P 500 index, imagine that. What will happen is, let's say it's at, I don't know, $100 million per Bitcoin, it's going to climb ever so incrementally. But when it corrects, it's going to drop 30% like a rock. So, very slow correction right now for Bitcoin because the maturity in its liquidity is very immature. Let's focus on this region now. There are a couple of options here to look at. Primary count says we have this. Now, the other potential is we could have this. What does that mean? Well, what did we just review? What kind of a flat? We could get an expanded flat. There you go. Okay. And if this is the expanded flat, and it can go to, let's say, 8,400 or 8,500 or so, then we're going to expect the C wave to do what? Impulse. It's going to have 5 subwaves. Maybe, I don't know, can't see really well, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we can get an expanded flat, but still well within wave 4, and then we'll get a decline to the 74 to 7,200. Maybe 6,800, overshoot in a wick. That's one way of looking at it. Here's another way, where wave 4 is, I'm sorry, here, wave 3 is complete. We leave wave 3 here. We draw the potential for a triangle, which is highly befitting of, let's say, wave 4, and we can say this is an A, B, C, D, E. Now this kind of a B, C, D, and E is not that common in cryptos, but I've seen them. The reason is because we have 3 at higher than B, or rather 3 at lower than the start of the start of A is higher than the start of B. usually it'll start from low, high, and stay above the low point. But this is what you call a running triangle, where the B wave exceeds the origin of the A, and we can get an A, B, C, D, E, and still decline. Overall, I think, I mean, could this be the bottom, or would just be, yeah, possible, absolutely. And, you know, my hodl positions will never complain about that. However, given what we've just reviewed on a higher degree of trend to where we're zooming into this, I think this ABCDE is possible. And I think we can get an expanded flat as well, but still the target remains as a wave 5, still being owed at a lower low. Okay, now, for people who are learning Elliott waves, look, I provide one-on-one coaching if that's what you'd like. So contact me on, admin@hedging.com to find out the conditions and the rates for that. But the reason, if you happen to spot, so let's go to 15 minutes here, a 5-wave rise, it's a good reason to get excited. Okay, so let's say we have here, clearly I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, yeah. I mean, but the key thing is, whenever you see a 5-wave rise, it doesn't always mean it's a trend-setting reversal 5 waves. In this case, I think this could be the 5, 3, 5 of that expanded triangle to see. Okay. Now, could this be the bottom and this could be the reversal? Yeah, it could. But I don't think it is in this case. If this is a 5 wave, we'll probably get an A, B, C, 5, 3, 5 zigzag, and C going to maybe 84, 8500, giving me that expanded flat. So when you see 5 waves, I guess a good way to qualify it is to ask yourself, well, could it fit within a corrective 5-wave sequence? Always, when you see 5 waves, always think, could this fit within a 5, 3, 5 zigzag? Or is the bottom in? And how do you know that the bottom is in? I don't think the bottom is in because the wave 5 is still owed, and this is 3 and 4 is still in progress. And more importantly, visually speaking, this is very sideways. Very sideways. I mean, you could initially have thought this was maybe a leading diagonal, okay, and say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 1, 2 up, but 2 went below the start of 1. That's not allowed between 1 and 2. So that's out of the question. So for me, I'm going to stick with 3, 4 somewhere here, either 8400 or ABCDE. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to trade this right now. It's not trading. This is trendless. There is no trend. That means you're going to get whipsawed back and forth on a 3-wave swing, and that's not going to be very pleasant. You're going to just get stopped out too frequently. In fact, I tried to do that up here, and I got stopped out a good amount of times too. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this, a lower low, somewhere between, and I want to give it a big range, 6,800 to 7450-ish or 7500. Okay, somewhere in that range. I think it could be in my opinion, the potential likely bottom for this correction, because it'll fit into the Elliott wave, 5-wave, and WXY completion for the blue Y. Okay, I hope you found this to be helpful. Have a wonderful day.